Hello everybody, my name is JJ and I am the founder and director of Primeval Horizon. Today we'll be talking about the development of Primeval Horizon, its history, its goals, and more. I'm aiming to make this video with minimal cuts, though keep in mind I am new to speaking in videos. It's as if I'm on stage right now, so I may miss a few things here and there. In the background there may be some Helldivers 2 footage, as well as some early prototype gameplay footage from our game. Firstly, I'd like to go over our recent devlog, starting with our Achillebator teaser that we have shown a few days ago in our Discord. Achillebator will be our first climbing playable, which will introduce the climbing mechanic and possibly the pounce mechanic, which is planned to allow you to not only latch onto other players, but also switch between latching points while latched on. Once we are further along with Ceratosaurus and Lufangosaurus, Achillebator will be next in line. Moving on, we have a couple animations done by Gorilla Workshop, one of our very skilled animators. Next we have a tease of Borasuchus, which is being rigged by two other animators that go by Info and the other by Kleiner. They have done a fantastic job. All sound design has also been done by our skilled sound designer named MZ. Next up, to finish the devlog recap, we have more Ceratosaurus animations done by Kleiner, as well as UI designs done by Anthony, our new programmer.
Hello everyone, I'm Anthony, and I'm the newest member to Primeval Horizon's development team. I'm the creator of such games as Batman the Baller.
So hope you fools got insurance, cause you're about to catch these hands.
Pokemon Sand and Gravel, Cappy the Flying Capybara, the Spongelands, Gravity, and a whole lot more. I'm new here, so I've been given the task to implement the game's UI before I go on and work on some of the more key core features of the game. UI is pretty interesting because it's somewhere in between an art and a science. On one hand, you have to make something that looks nice and is unique. On the other hand, you have to make something that is familiar so that users or players can know how to use what you made. Because pausing doesn't actually pause the game, I wanted to make the pause menu as unobtrusive as possible. So I looked at some very minimalist UIs from Batman Arkham Asylum, Resident Evil, Super Mario Odyssey, and a lot more. Here are a few designs I made based off those references, and went back and forth with JJ and came up with this final design. The main menu design was already done for the most part. I just added some extra touches to re-clarify what we were trying to do with that. For the settings menu, I looked at references that looked good, were simple, was to the point, and could get implemented sometime within my lifetime. And this was the final product. For the character creation menu, I was given a very rough wireframe, and I took inspiration from Path of Titans, and the final result is something unique yet very familiar to those who play games in this genre. When it came to Dossier, I looked at reference UIs that looked as stylistic and as artistic as possible, and came up with the following prototypes. After going back and forth with JJ again, we came up with this final design. It's a little bland compared to the reference UIs, but it has room to grow. And finally, I've been working on the server browser menu in private. Now, don't get attached to this design. I haven't shown it to anyone, no one's approved it, no one's given me their thoughts on it, but I figured I'd just show you this anyway for content reason. And that concludes all the UIs that were worth mentioning in this devlog. Right now I'm working on implementing the UIs into Unreal Engine, and I gotta say it's pretty brutal. That will be the topic for next devlog. For now, I'm signing out. Take care.
The work the team has done constantly impresses me. I'm thrilled to continue working with such skilled and passionate individuals. Let's go back to where Primeval Horizon started in late November of 2021, as a project that was still figuring out its vision, but thanks to the feedback from the community, you guys, we have come very far since then. I started the project a couple years ago with little to no knowledge in game development outside of my artistic skills as an artist that grew up drawing dinosaurs, dragons, and other creatures. Much of my passion derives from Walking with Dinosaurs, Primeval, Jurassic Park, The Isle, and much, much more. Can't forget about Land Before Time though, from when I was a little kid. My joy from seeing all these different iterations of prehistoric creatures and learning more about them has become the core of my personality, as well as something I'm very ambitious about. Getting back to talk about development though, as an artist, I took interest in level design, and many of the early days of Primeval Horizon were very level design focused. However, it was far from impressive, but we all start somewhere. That's all that really matters, is starting and not giving up on what you love. If you'd like to make it a living, you could totally do that as long as you keep on learning. Always remember that it's never truly a loss as long as you've learned something, even when things feel scary and beyond your control. A big struggle with game development is that there is basically a limitless amount to learn from, but you don't need to learn it all, of course, to achieve what you want. Development soon moved to models and rigs, something we stuck to working on for a very large portion of our development to the point we have created some of the highest quality prehistoric characters. Finding a programmer, especially a suitable one, was difficult at first and is something we only recently have overcome. However, experienced programmers are very expensive, as you can imagine, especially for one person such as myself to barely afford. Thanks to you, our fantastic community, we have been able to afford the artistic work for the past several months done for development, as well as start to program the foundation of the game thanks to your donations. We are currently low on funds, however, so I am working on finding a suitable 9 to 5 in the meantime to continue funding the project even if progress slows down. Any form of support from all of you would mean a ton, from sharing word of us to donating. To think that there are so many of you out there that barely know me personally, and yet support my dream, gets me emotional at times, because it's really hard to believe, and I don't know how else to thank you other than to provide you with the best game possible in this genre. This genre has had a large influence on me and my hobbies. It allowed me to discover my true passion and pursue it. So I thank those that have contributed to this genre, even if they haven't provided what the community has wanted. I want to also thank the content creators that have helped us grow so far, such as Flossie, ShiftyV, Vivix, Call Me Pancake, and more. We wouldn't have gotten this far without everyone who has shown support to this project. Before I end the video, I would like to also talk about our plans for those that may not be in the Discord and those that have not seen our roadmap. The team and I aim to provide a high quality creature survival game that offers plenty of interaction and socialization. We aim to achieve this by offering a fleshed out growth system that rewards you for completing natural objectives related to diet, nesting, and group status, as well as unique boss fights of varying tiers. Proximity voice chat is also planned, however it is optional. This will allow players to communicate effectively with each other and create limitless new interactions. Our diverse roster has been designed to avoid overlapping in order to offer a unique experience for each playable creature. As you may have noticed, this project steers away from realism with its heavy sci-fi elements. However, only does so when it benefits the enjoyment of the game, since as many of you may know, too much realism takes away from the fun of the game. If I were to go over every mechanic, it would make this video way too long, so I highly suggest checking out our roadmap below. Thank you all for watching, especially if you've gotten this far. Show some love to the team, and please leave any questions you have in the comments along with what you'd like for me to talk about in a future video. Stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.